Bolt Bros in the house, guys.
Bolt Bros.
Week 1. We
Woo!
are excited.
We made it. We are here.
We are here, guys. Obviously, we are in LA. We have an event we're going to go to tonight at Top Golf in El Segundo. Come check it out. J-Rock, we're going to be there. Should be a lot of fun. Starts at 5:30. We did post it on YouTube, so check it out. You guys are obviously most likely watching us on YouTube, so go check it out. I did a post there. And we're going to be broadcasting live on Instagram quite a bit. So, guys, let's talk about week 1. So let's get into it.
Ooh. I'm Dale Henley. You watching the Bolt Bros podcast? Let's do it!
All righty, guys. Oh, guys, it's week 1, guys. I never thought it was going to get here.
It just seems like it takes forever. But, I'll say this, though. Doing the podcast, I feel like it helps accelerate to get to this point. But when it's finally here, we kind of feel a little like, wow, it's actually came here a little faster than we thought. So,
yep.
Pretty stoked. Aether over here. Andrew can't stop.
Aether, leave me alone.
Won't stop.
Let me handle my business, Aether. Let me handle my business. Okay. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay, Bolt Babes are here. Hey, we are, like I said, guys, we are going to be at El Segundo tonight, Top Golf. Come check it out. It should be a lot of fun. It starts at 5:30. It's on YouTube. There's the whole thing. J-Rock's going to be there. A lot of giveaways. It should be a good time.
And of course, repost it on Instagram right now too. So
on Instagram,
yeah. Perfect.
And we are going to be going live on Instagram and YouTube as much as we possibly can at Thunder Rally as well tomorrow. Bolt Babes, we want to see you guys. Okay, we have some prepared slides, so let's go ahead and throw your questions out. We will get to it, but we want to go through our prepared slides real quick, about 15-20 minutes total, and then we'll go into some of your questions.
And the thing about it is going into week 1, I mean, this is what up, Jim? How you doing, brother? Hey, but week 1, guys, we've played against the Dolphins last year. Obviously, it was a wild game to be able to really give us that jump to be able to get to the playoffs pretty much.
Yeah.
And there was a lot going on in that game. Joe Lombardi getting a lot of hate, a lot of injuries, a lot of things like that. But we'll jump into the slides a little bit more about kind of some of the keys to the games, things that we just kind of pointed out for this game. And both sides, Dolphins and Chargers, but I think we'll initially start with the Chargers more or less.
Correct. Yeah, we want to get into a little bit about the game plan that the Dolphins, we think they're going to throw at us.
Yep.
But we're going to squish the fish. We're going to squish the fish.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to have a lot of fish tacos up in our stomachs before the game.
Sashimi. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking about walking around Thunder Alley handing out Swedish fish or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should. Yeah, let's go get a bag.
Yeah. Dude. Yo.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Chew up the fish, dude. I don't know what make up some new saying. I don't know.
Yeah, so we got Kellen Moore here right now, folks. We want to talk about Kellen Moore and what I think he's going to be doing to this offense. We did quite a few videos regarding Kellen Moore.
Huge.
We've kind of beaten a dead horse here, but one of the things I'm going to say as far as the offense is concerned, we have not actually seen the offense yet.
Yeah.
Preseason games, I was very base offense, very base. Lots of RPO, lots of zone reads, just try and get the run game identity. I think we're going to do a lot of zone reads. But again, I say again, Kyle?
You're basic.
Yeah, basic. But I think what we're going to see, Justin Herbert, he's going to have a package, and they're going to be running plays out of that package. So if he sees a blitz coming to the right, he'll check to a screen to the right, or he'll check to a run play to the left, or something of that nature, right? So whatever the defense is showing, he's going to audible to something different. So he'll be taking control of the offense, which I think is a pretty exciting thing. And I'm excited to see how Herbert runs it, right? I mean, his pre-snap reads need to be good, but if he does that, we're going to see some pretty dynamic plays. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, and just to Andrew's point too, Moore talked a lot about that. Like, if you see this certain type of defense, run this kind of play and look for this type of situation. Like, basically he's educating Justin Herbert to be able to read defenses and find the soft points of a defense to be able to allow the progress the ball further. The big thing about Kellen Moore, in my opinion, are we going to see preseason run game like what we saw? Are we going to see that? That's the big key to this, because all of last year, we didn't have a run game pretty much. We did not have a run game, and that's a big thing, I think, reason why Kellen Moore is here is because he needs to bring a run game. We need balance to this offense.
Yep.
I'm confident that if we want to just throw the ball 60 times, we could probably score a lot of points.
Yep.
But I'm more wanting to see a more even offense.
We see that play on words? More even
offense. Yes.
So I'm really looking at the run game more or less from Kellen Moore, seeing what he could provide for this team to balance this team out, not rely on Justin Herbert's arm 100%. Can we find a way to start fast and finish by running the ball? Hey.
Yeah, that's my dating profile. I like that. Start fast and finish. Believe that.
Throwing out a plug to our new shirt right there.
Yeah, exactly, new shirt. Yeah, there's a link to the merch on YouTube as well, folks. Yeah. So Kyle, what's your thoughts on Kellen Moore? What we're going to see offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like I think we're gonna start like long and hard. I think so. Maybe a little too many sexual.
Boy, all kinds of innuendos going on over here. Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, because I really think that we're gonna actually see very early on is that we're gonna see Justin Herbert throwing the ball deep, and we're gonna see like at least 3 or 4 like long bombs. I think because we're gonna prove that Justin Herbert's back and he's got the arm and stuff like that. We're just gonna see that happen really fast. And we're gonna start out like really, we're gonna be going hard, deep. Boys.
Go deep,
it's gonna
baby.
be good. Yeah,
go deep. Well, that's go deep too. Go deep, baby. Wow. We gotta keep it professional around here, boys.
Hey, come on, it's a family show.
This is all football talk. You know what I'm saying? So hey, come on out of the gutters, bro. Come on.
Okay, all right, whatever.
Off the rails, dude.
Whatever. That's fine.
But I do, and just to kind of bring to Kyle's point, I would not be surprised if we go deep outs immediately right from the get-go. Just test them as much as you possibly can.
Yeah,
right from the
long
get-go.
And hard right there. I thought that's what you said.
Oh boy.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah,
okay,
we ain't mature around here.
Yeah, I know it's terrible. Terrible.
Whatever. Yeah.
Terrible. But anyways, but guys, I'm excited to see what we're actually going to be running on offense. I truly believe that they want that defense to be in conflict. They don't want that. Great example. I always go back to the Niners game. We lost 2 defensive linemen. We lost Tito. We lost Austin Johnson in that game. Wagner. Is it Wagner? No.
It's
who's the linebacker? Oh my God, what's his name? Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Fred Warner said in his press conference, "We did nothing the entire second half. We ran the same exact defensive play the entire second half.
Yeah.
And we couldn't score. We did nothing.
Yeah.
We did nothing. There was no adjustments. Kellen Moore will not do that. Kellen Moore actually
big adjustments.
He will make adjustments. And again, we were terrible in the third quarter.
Yep.
But guess what? Kellen Moore's going to make adjustments and he's going to be moving forward.
Well, and the one point I was going to say too about the
Thank you, none your business. Good to see you. Long, hard, and balls deep, and give me more. Okay.
None your business.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, you better like it. Subscribe.
This guy became Bolt Bros.
Man,
what's going on here?
All right, that's another shirt right there.
I don't know what's happening, guys.
Come on, we're gonna restart the stream here, guys.
Golly, dude, come on now. None of your business. I love that though. But
welcome to the Only Bros channel.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Only Bros.
Yeah, Only Bros.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. This show has gone off the rails.
Oh man.
The one thing I'm going to say though is to the offensive side and offensive line side of things, the left side has been emphasized as going to be a massive, massive strength for us. So I'm interested going back to the run game. I'm interested to see how that's going to all work out in this game. If they're going to run a lot to the left or they're going to mix it up both sides. I mean, from end to end, our O-line is really, really strong. But there's a lot of hype about Zion Johnson and what he's been able to do in this offseason. I mean, you got to think Rashawn Slater is going to be back. We didn't have him in the Dolphins game, by the way.
Yep.
We did not have him at all on there. I think Trey Pipkins might have been dealing with some injuries during that time too. He was kind of just pushing through as much as he possibly can. We had Jamari Sawyer on the left tackle position. It's going to be a bit different game. The thing about it is going into this game, we are healthy versus the last game that we played against the Dolphins. So it's going to be exciting to see a healthy squad out there for once.
Yeah.
Unlike what's going on with the Dolphins squad, there's a lot of injuries on there, which we'll chat about here in a little bit.
Yeah, we will. We'll get into it. But this man right here, Herbo, what did someone call him? Like the white mongoose or something like that? I was like, that's a weird nickname. I was like, all right, then that's cool.
White Mamba.
Yeah,
like,
white mongoose.
White Mamba. Maybe.
Yeah, white mongoose. I was like, that's kind of weird, but anyways, I would just say this. I think this man's going to have an amazing season. I think all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. He wants to just throw the ball downfield. It's going to be exciting. So, look, I think it's going to be really good, and I'm excited to see what we see. Moving forward. 50 touchies, folks. 50 touchies. None of your business.
Yeah. 5-0. Wait,
bolts and hose,
baby.
5-0.
Bolts and hose.
Bolts and hose.
You know what?
Wow.
That needs to be our next shirt. None of your business. That needs to be our next shirt. We need to put that up. Bolts and hose, dude.
That would be ridiculous.
Oh my
dude.
gosh, I like it, man. This is falling off the rest.
Yeah.
Guys, we have no alcoholic adult beverages. But anyways, this is water, folks. But okay, so Herbert, let's talk about Herbert a little bit.
Man, Herbo bombs all
You
day.
don't know what I got.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He got grandpa's cough medicine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the thing about it is, going back to even that Dolphins game, I mean, Justin Herbert still wasn't 100%.
No, not at all. No, he was hurt.
he didn't have like a massive game in the sense of yards and touchdowns. But we're gonna have a healthy Justin Herbert, and I'm gonna say one difference too that we noticed a lot too is that his throwing motion's a lot more, upwards versus a little bit more side angles now. So he is starting to get a little bit more, and I don't know if it's a Kellen Moore effect of teaching him how to throw the ball a little bit differently, but his arm angle looks a lot better all around. So
agreed.
The weapons that we have on this team, guys, like we have talked about it in a nauseam in this whole like off season.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, Eckler, Everett, Parham, like, dude, we got so much on this offense to set up a phenomenal offense performance like this entire year. The thing about it is, let's go Brandon Staley, baby.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But the one thing too is, like, we have the opportunity to be like Eric Coryell version 2, basically.
Big time.
And Kellen Moore has referenced that, by the way.
100%.
So I'm excited to see this going. Like, bombs away. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, right? And again, we're healthy. I think we have a great offensive line. I think the run game is going to be awesome. We might see some RPOs. It'll be really interesting to see how it plays out. So, again, we haven't seen our offense yet, but we will see it obviously, on Sunday.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Kyle, any other little additives about the offense? Justin Herbert bombing
additives.
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 It too. Like, I don't know if anyone else has seen the video that just got released by the Chargers, like where there was a bunch of locker room talk, and Eckler was talking about how, he always has, a lot of pressure on himself to go off and to actually perform better and stuff like that, he even put in fantasy football terms, the upside is very high for him this year.
Yeah.
So
right.
So I really do think that our run game is going to need to be established very early on as well this season.
Yeah.
Because once we start breaking 100 plus yards a game when it comes to rushing, and we're actually getting 300, 400 yards in passing.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, all gas, no brakes. I think it's 100%. That's what we want to show. So offensively, I think that's a good start. But let's talk about this man right here, Brandon Staley. I know a few of you talked about him. Look, I think defensively, I did a video. I do think we're going to be top 10 defense this year. I think we'll probably be top 5 in stopping the pass. The run is always going to be a little bit of an issue, but I will say this. I do think that we finally have the right people. Tuli's going to be great. I think Scott Matlock is going to be awesome. We got SJD. We got Nick Williams. He's a great guy also. Yeah. Austin Johnson's back. Morgan Fox. Our defensive line is going to be a lot better. Yeah. So, and again, Jim, just talking about, look, all those guys that I've just discussed are just going to be great. I think they're going to really help out. I will say this. I think you could see some stunts with Tuli on the line, where you have Tuli and Bosa on one side and they stunt.
Yep.
Because then Bosa could come in the middle off the left side. We could talk about this a little further, but I think there's a lot of really interesting lineups and formations they could run just to try and put some additional pressure on Tua, as a pass rush. So anyways, again, throw your questions out, guys. We will get to all of them. So just throw your questions out, and we'll pop on as many as we go through.
Well, the thing about Staley, we're in his third year as his defense too, as a head coach also on top of that too. we are basically in a position where we need to see what we hired him for. And I love Brandon Staley, and we all support him here on the Bolt Bros channel and everything. But the one thing I'm waiting to really see is this as a nice cohesive defense. And obviously last year we got destroyed through the run defense.
Yeah.
And we need to see that get better. Now, Sebastian Jostate talked about it in some of the interviews too. And I might have said, I don't know if it was the All In episode or it was just a in passing interview. He said, look, we weren't bad against the run. We just sucked about finding a way to stop the big runs.
Yeah.
And, 60-yard runs once a game is going to always kill you. It's going to be hard to be able to not keep a team under 100 yards and rushing at that point.
Yep.
So basically, we need to see this cohesiveness to this team. And I'll say this, as much as we hate about that Jaguars game, the All In episode really gave us a good perspective of, I think that a lot of this team has a better idea of maybe a chip on their shoulder or what they need to do to not allow that to happen again.
Correct.
That was like a learning lesson for them. Now let's hope there's not residual that's carrying from that game at all. But I really do hope that they're just going to go out there and just come out with just fire in their bellies, start fast and finish basically every game. Just go. So I'm looking forward to what Staley's going to do this year.
Yeah. And again, we were so banged up on the defensive line last year. We had nobody. I mean, the Niners game, we lost 2 guys for the season.
Yep.
Tito and then Austin Johnson gone for the season. Austin Johnson's finally back. So look, I know we're frustrated with our run stopping, but I think we're going to be a lot better this season. We really are going to be better. It's going to give us a good opportunity to see what we can really do.
Yep.
And remember these guys were not out there last game.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing. Those are 2 pretty big hitters for us, by the way, guys. Joey Bosa not being in there, Derwin James not being in that last Dolphins game. I mean, obviously the D-line was just banged up. The thing is, Alohi Gilman did a good job, right out of the gate against Tyreek Hill and batting that pass down that was
100%.
Easily could have been a touchdown.
Yep.
Right from the get-go, right out the gates. So it's going to be great to be able to finally see these guys out there 100% healthy, ready to go and just ripping and roaring. And on top of that, throw Eric Kendricks. This is the first time that Staley's had a veteran inside linebacker in his defense with the Chargers. We were dealing a lot with Drew Tranquil and Kenneth Murray. Some of the guys talked about that going back to the run game. There were a lot of guys out of position. So big thing about Aaron Kendricks and why he's a captain is because he's going to be the guy to really lead to where people need to be at for their assignment. Make sure they don't screw up. Make sure they don't leave large gaps on the D-line. Make sure that they fill, the hole that the guy's trying to run through, whatever gap he's trying to go through. So I'm excited to be able to see how Eric Kendricks really could add juice to this defense.
Juice. Now, he's a great run stopper. He's good in coverage. And everyone keeps saying Kenneth Murray is going to be better this season. I mean, we'll see. I get frustrated with Kenneth Murray, man, that conversation with that guy. But I wish Deion Henley would be available. But again, that he was going to be essentially a special teamer, most likely for this game anyways. So, okay, that's fine. It is what it is, right? But, he won't be available. So we'll go from there. And, there is some discussion. I did post this on, actually, no, I didn't post this on YouTube. Because of Rumph being out, there is some discussion that they might pull up Brevin Allen or Andrew Farmer from the practice squad as an edge rusher. So we'll let you guys know if that happens. Nothing's been announced as we're filming live right now. Could be tomorrow morning. So we'll let you know if something does pop up. We'll do a quick video and let you guys know. So
no doubt.
Okay. So let's move on. We got a couple more slides. That's about it. Okay. So let's talk about this dude right here. Old Vic Fangio.
Old Vic,
dude.
Old Vic.
Look, he helped Brandon Staley get in the league. He was the guy. Yep. So, and, it's one of those situations where, the man knows Brandon Staley. Also, we have Ronaldo Hill over there.
Yep.
So he understands his team. So there's lots to discuss about him. So, James, what are your thoughts?
I mean, the one thing when I was sitting there, obviously Vic Fangio was a big hiring for the Dolphins.
Yep,
really stabilized that defense for them. And they got a ton of talent on defense, guys. Do not look past them by any means. They don't have Jalen Ramsey this time. He's obviously out. It was a hammy, I think, or whatever, or knee or whatever the issue was in the preseason. But they got a lot of talent on that team, guys. And on top of that, just to throw Vic Fangio, just a stat that I noticed about him. His defensive have ranked in the league's top 5 in yards allowed in the last 8 of the 13 years that he's been a defensive coordinator, possible head coach too, because of the Broncos, while placing in the NFL's top 5 in fewest points allowed in 7 times over that span. So he's done a great job of keeping scores very, very low.
Yep.
And that's like his key to his game. Keep it under 20, basically, is what I always think in my head. You've got a great shot to be able to win.
Yep.
Last year, we were 23 points on offense and 22.9 on defense giving up.
Every game was close.
Every game was
close. Game was close, and you can't win that way.
You
guys.
Can't.
I honestly think we could score 27 points per game on average. Again, I ask myself this question all the time. Is Dak Prescott a better quarterback than Herbert? No. Herbert is a better quarterback, and we got more weapons. And I understand Vic Fangio is a very good defensive-minded head coach. I get that. But I do think no matter what, we're at least going to score what the Cowboys did last season. Could even be 30.
Yep.
30 would be crazy.
Yeah. I'd love to see that.
Wow.
Love to see that.
And if we could just get our defense to just be, top 10 maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
great.
It's going to be amazing. Kyle, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, hey, man, we did that at Madden simulation earlier this week, and we actually scored 40-something points on the Dolphins.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
go. We couldn't, and they couldn't get past 20 points. They had a pretty good first half, but they were abysmal the second half. We had a couple of interceptions from Derwin James. One was a pick 6, so it's like, man, they went off on that second half. And so, like, hey, if that's the kind of game that we're going to see tomorrow, oh yeah, it's gonna feel real good, especially because the Chiefs they lost their first game, so it's gonna be like, I'm excited, boys. I'm excited.
Well, and it would shut up Acho, that freaking guy. That guy. Dude. Oh,
that's the second turnaround of having the Tua Herbert debate. I mean, I think that guy is all just doing it just to try to be able to be on TV. I was going to say one thing about just some of the players on the defense too. If you guys are paying attention, Christian Wilkins is a phenomenal defensive tackle who's trying to get paid.
Yeah.
He's going to be a menace on the line, and he was a menace for us last game. Time. Now, once again, we got Rashawn Slater. We got people a little bit more moved around on the O-line. We're going to be a lot more healthier on the O-line. So that's one guy in one position to be able to look at. Jalen Phillips was a guy who was a menace, who was a San Diego local kid. I think he was a Chargers fan when he grew up too. I don't know if he's putting a little extra juice in this game, but I think he's a UCLA product too. Bradley Chubb, that's a very, very tough D-line to work with. Probably one of the better D-lines that you're going to go against this year for the Chargers schedule completely.
Yeah.
And then you got Xavier Howard, a fantastic corner in the backfield. They did say about the cornerbacks, they're going to kind of do a rotational situation.
They did.
Eli Apple to Cater Kohu, I think is how you pronounce his last name. They're going to kind of, and even possibly Cam Smith. So they didn't say who's going to really start. It's going to just kind of be a rotational situation, which I kind of expect that too for the Chargers with J.C. Jackson, Jasir Taylor, and Asante Samuel Jr. For this game. So either which way, this is not a defense to sleep on by any means.
No, and at the end of the day, we also, again, all gas, no brakes. It's just going to be, let's just go. Okay, we got one more slide, guys. And guys, continue throwing your questions out. I know, Eighth, you got a couple questions. Throw your questions out. We're just going to go to the top and then go all the way back down. So, but yes, throw your questions out as soon as you can. We got this man right here.
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator for the Dolphins. What's his name again?
Frank Smith.
Frank Smith. Yeah, I keep thinking Frank Reich for some reason, but that's not him.
That's the head coach for the Colts now. So
no, he's not on the Colts.
Panthers.
Yes.
Panthers.
Oh, yeah, he got fired from the Colts. Remember what happened with Jeff Saturday last year?
That's right.
Yeah,
he got fired him and then brought him Jeff Saturday, and that was a fiasco.
Yeah,
but the thing about Frank Smith, I mean, he's obviously in name as offensive coordinator. The reason why we're bringing him up is because obviously Mike McDaniels is kind of really the offensive coordinator more than anything. But Frank Smith did say, and I'm a big fan of exploiting weaknesses where you can.
Yep. And
right now, the Dolphins O-line, if you guys saw the power ranking video that I did earlier this week, I talked a little bit about power rankings, offense, defense, offensive lines, and everything like that. The Dolphins O-line's ranked at 20, basically.
Yeah.
It's a weakness. And it's even weaker now with Teron Armstead being out this game. So when I started looking at it and looking at PFF, I'm like, all right, who else is on this line who's going to take over?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, basically, Frank Smith said that he's not going to reveal the personal decisions right now for week 1 for the O-line. So such as left guard is Isaiah Wynn or Liam Eichenberg, who has a really low PFF if you want to put some weight on that.
Yeah.
Smith says it will be a surprise to the Chargers, but not Dolphins. So there's going to be some adjustment on that left side. Way I look at that as is, I'm a defensive coordinator. I'm attacking that left side and testing that side out as much as you possibly can. I've been throwing out ideas of like, why don't we put Thule in the D line at some point just to get an extra pass rush? Because he kind of was like a tweener guy in college. Put Bosa on his side or whatever, Mac, whatever. You got Eric Kendricks that could come into rush too. You could just really pressure the crap out of that side of the line, test them out as much as you possibly can, and get after Tula. I'm like Tua. Yeah. But the thing about it is that the left side is not as critical as the right side.
Correct.
The right side is his blind side, but the left side is still going to be critical. You create chaos still. Like, I think that was a Ted Lasso quote or something like that. Create chaos or something like that. And if you could create chaos on the line, make him flustered, which we did a lot with Derek Carr in the past, just go after him and pressure him, make him make mistakes. And hey, exploit the weaknesses, bottom line.
Well, the other thing too, the offense is all built on timing, right? And finding spots in the zone, right? They know that, the 3-step drop, the 5-yard out is going to be open. It's all going to be timing. If you could disrupt the timing and just get him off of his spot, that's a win.
Perfect.
That is an absolute win, guys, right? So Brandon Staley knows that. So, man, I think he's going to be dialing up some crazy things, dude. I'm expecting a dry humping out there. I think Tua is going to get dry humped all day.
I mean, we put up that meme of like Joey Bosa with his crazy eyes and knowing that the left tackle is going to be gone. I mean, he could be eaten. Mac could be eaten. Thule could be eaten. I mean, Bash. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that could do a lot of big things. I was going to say, too, there was an interview that Brandon Staley talked a little bit with Lorenzo O'Neal and Money just about kind of week 1. And he said, look, the whole preparation of week 1 is we're just going to focus on ourselves because we kind of don't know what to expect from them.
Yep.
We know what we're going to expect from us and what our expectations are going to be. We just need to focus on us. Because I've always looked at it in a fantasy football perspective. I've always been like, it's a total crapshoot week 1. You have no idea what to expect from whatever player. Like, period. Same thing for teams. We have an idea, but we still don't know what to expect from any team by any
100%.
So there's no film, no footage. Hence, that's why I did kind of a primer video earlier this week on power rankings. Just it's opinions at this point, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
We have no idea what to expect with this team at all. So.
We're a paper team at this point, right? On paper, we look good, but that's about it, right? So, guys, again, keep your questions coming. We're going to go for another 30 minutes or so. And also put your score predictions down there in the chat as well, too. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so we're done with slides, guys. That portion is over. So let's talk a little bit about your questions. So, Willie, I'm mad as hell right now. Why did the Chargers cut Xander Horvath? There goes the goal line scoring in the red zone. In short, he's a fullback, and he doesn't really fit within the offensive scheme.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Eckler's pretty good in the red zone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really good at the red zone. He made a living basically on doing that. I mean, hence he's got 20 touchdowns, give or take, on average for the past 2 seasons, 40 total touchdowns last 2 years, and he's done great in the red zone. I mean, even to say that, if we don't use him, we could use Joshua Kelly, who I think is a really good big built body guy. Like, we got 3 really good backs, and once again, the fullback position is kind of a dying position.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle. You have a thought?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I was just saying is like, I mean, I'm on board with everyone too, is that I really do like Xander Horvath. And I feel like a little bummed that, we did let him go, but like we've talked about it before, but Kellen Moore actually does run the double tight ends system a lot more, like a 1-2.
12 personnel.
Yeah, 12 personnel, like a lot of those types of setups. And so it's just like, well, it gives Justin Herbert like taller people, like in maybe potentially better hands, more blockers. It does make a lot more sense in the way the NFL works right now. So,
Yeah, and he was pretty much set as a special teams player.
Yeah.
We picked up Tanner Muse. Tanner Muse is a very good special teams player, if not one of the best special teams player, and also a good linebacker. So it's like, well, there's more value there to have him than anybody else.
Well, and the one thing too, it's what's funny about it is that the Steelers picked up Xander Horvath. You got to remember they picked up one of our last linebackers too. Was it Derek Watt?
Yep.
Too.
Yeah. Or fullback.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny they keep coming after our fullbacks. I mean, it's kind of why it's wild they didn't pick up Gabe Neighbors. So
yeah, that was a little bit interesting.
So, but they like our fullbacks for some reason.
Yeah, guys, and like and subscribe when you get a second. Hit that button, please. It does help the channel out a lot. Okay, so, and Jim's saying, hey, I do see Herbert going off for the most part. And he, again, so we talked a little bit about it at the beginning. We don't have to talk too much about it now because we already talked about it, but he's going to go in there with a package. It's going to be 12 personnel, 11 personnel, whatever it is. Package is called Dagger, Boise, whatever you want to call it. There'll be 20 plays within that package. I'm just throwing a number out there. It could be more, could be, I have no idea. But then depending on what they see defensively and what Herbert sees pre-snap, he's going to switch to something else, right? So he'll say, great. All right, well, they're defending the run. Okay, let's pass.
Yep.
Oh, they're defending the pass. Okay, let's run. So the defense will always be in conflict. And like we did last year with, Lombardi or Dumbardi, however you want to call him, we're going to adjust the entire game. The entire game will be nothing but adjustments constantly.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see that because if you become predictable in the NFL, you're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead.
You're dead.
Look at the Chiefs. Look at all the good offenses out there. They are not predictable. You never really know what they're going to do. So I'm excited.
Yep, no doubt. I can't wait to see it, man. I mean, SoFi is going to be rocking. Best time to be at the game is week 1, and we're all going to be there tomorrow. So we're excited about it.
And again, tonight we're going to be at Top Golf in El Segundo, 5:30 to 8:30. There's an event there. It's on YouTube. There's a post, so come down and check it out. Love to see you guys as well. That'd be great.
You don't have to golf or anything too. Yep. It's just a meetup, just hanging out. They got some prizes, all that kind of stuff. So please come on out if you guys can make it out tonight. Just a little primer before pregame at Thunder Alley, then to the game, and then to the celebration at the end of the game.
I think it would be pretty fun to do some golfing though too. I don't know.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
If it's possible, like I mean, I know like a lot of times Top Golf gets really busy, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, it's Saturday night too. Yeah, it gets hectic for sure.
Yeah, and G Charmaine, you're right. Moore's going to light it up, right? Again, it's all gas, no brakes. The other thing I would say on this too, they have everything figured out, right? If it's 4th and 2 and you're on our 40, or their 40, okay, we're going for it.
Yep.
And they have plays ready to go in the formation. They have them all ready to go.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, it's like I kind of hope to see 4th and Staley kind of come a little bit more into this year. If we have an offense that you can't stop, keep going, keep trying, keep going and taking those risks. Take risks early on. Go back to that Lions-Chiefs game. What did they do? Fake punt, got a 4th down conversion. They got a touchdown off of that.
Yep.
You got to take risks when it's necessary. Well, I wouldn't say necessary, but take risks when you can to where it doesn't hurt you that bad, basically, because you'll have a lot more time to be able to, if the mistake goes bad, you have more time to be able to make up for it, kind of thing. But the one thing I'm going to say too is that, like, with this team, you have so much talent. Let's overpower them as much as you possibly can. And I'm all for like just scoring at will, but I'm also at the same side want to find a pace with this team. We lost to the Jaguars because I felt like we just had too many quick scores. I remember watching that game and thinking, man, we really got like 27 points really quick.
Yeah.
With a lot of time left. And so we got to find a way to be able to pace the game out. I mean, obviously, what I brought up about Kellen Moore, we need to see a run game to be able to pace this game and balance it out. If we don't have a run game, we have to rely on the arm. We tried to do that against the Jags. We got smoked, basically. And so I want to see a pace. I don't want to see it being like, just go touchdown every single time. Obviously, I would like to see that. But at the same side, we need to be able to pace ourselves, not to allow them to be able to get back so quickly, too. So.
Yep. And so I think to your point, this is what Jim says. I see Spiller showing us he's a real deal this year. I think there's going to be a lot of rotation. I think is it 20 or 21 personnel? I can't remember what you call it, but that's 2 running backs and then 2 wide receivers. I think that's that would be 20. It'd be 21, I believe. I always get those confused. But I would not be surprised if you saw some RPOs with just 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. You think about it, you could just run to the right, run to the left, and then Herbert, or they split out and then they have to split the linebackers, and then Herbert could just run up the middle. I mean, there's so many different variations of things that they can do that I think could be really good with what we have. This is a good quote from Aether. I know you talked to Aether quite a bit.
My baby.
Quarterback
can be patient early in the game. Don't force the issue. Take what they give you, and don't put your defense in harm, especially especially if they're playing great. Yeah, I mean that should be kind of the motto of any offense. Take what they give you, and if it gets you a first down and gives you another set of downs to work with, take it. Like, I understand like these big risks, bombing the ball out and everything too, is really nice, and it's like great flashy plays. I mean, Al Davis loves to get a quarterback with a big arm and just bombing the ball down field. Now that's a Raider owner, but but at the same side, it's fun to watch the splashy plays, but it's also great to be able to just have consistent, strong, long drive-based football and just tire their defense out. Like, I personally would like to see the first possession just be like a 14-play drive right out of the gate for a touchdown. Get their defense tired. Get them tired so in the fourth quarter we could just run them pretty much at that point.
I like that. We got to throw this one up again. Long, hard, and balls deep. Give me more. I like it. No, I love it. And again, Jim, I think we could see Staley win Coach of the Year, man. I mean, literally, people are saying he's on the hot seat. I don't think he's on the hot seat. I think he finally has. I think he has finally his right depth, he has the right players, and I think he has the right coaching staff. I do feel like he stuck with Lombardi a little too long. I felt like they should have let him go mid-season last year. I really felt like we talked about it at nauseum, didn't we? At the bye week, let him go. Just get rid of him. Switch it up. Like, he's doing something wrong. He's not making any changes or anything like that. So, and this is a good point too. Yeah. Willie talked about the red zone. Kellen Moore, they were the number 1 offense in the red zone last season.
Yeah. I think they were at like 54, 55% or something like that. The year before, they were like 70% for red zone conversion. Like, it was insane. I mean, that's one thing that he emphasized and also did a lot in training camp, by the way. And I think the conversion rate for us was pretty high. Actually, that was without Herbert playing. It was, I think, Max and Easton Stick.
Yep.
Dude, they had super high. It was almost like 100% conversion rate in the red zone. Now, hopefully that's not a sign of our defense not being that good.
Yep.
But at the same side, it's about choosing the right play calls. Go back to like last year, like Joe Lombardi's best play call was against the Cardinals, the games that we were at.
We were there, yeah.
The 2-point conversion. That was his best play call of all year. And that was the one that allowed us to get to the playoffs, by the way, too.
Yep.
If we didn't make that, we would have not been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That was his best play call. It was a perfect little like rub route, loud Everett right out, touch or 2-point conversion, game over pretty much at that point. That was one of the best play calls he's ever done. So once again, if you got the right set of players, right situations, your red zone conversion is going to be great. And we have so many targets on this team that and tons of height on top of that. Even throw Parham on top of that. Goodness gracious. Like, it's awesome. It's going to be really fun to watch this offense.
Yeah, it should be exciting. And again, Kyle, we got to make this shirt happen. Bolts and hose.
Bolts and hose. Yeah, that's right.
We got to make that one happen. Good. Thank you, None Your Business. We'll get you a shirt, when we see you. Yes. Bolts and Bros. Oh, I like
and Bros.
Yeah, she made it more PG later. So Bolts and Bros.
I like both of them. I says do both.
Bolts, hose, and Bros. I like
Bolts,
that.
Hose, and Bros.
The triple B's, baby.
Yeah, triple B's.
Better Business Bureau. What's going on here?
Better Bros. But again, talking about the defense, I do think that we're going to be awesome defensively. Again, we talked about Kendricks. We talked about, we're finally actually healthy. Thank God. It's week 1. We should be healthy. But Matlock, I think, is going to be big. I think Tuli's going to do great. I think Kendricks, obviously, is going to be awesome, too. So,
can't wait.
Can't wait. Good. Okay, so here's another question from Aether. James, you want to take that one?
So I have 2 questions. The first, what do we expect from Miami's defense? Take away our deep shot or take away Keenan Allen, force everyone to play great? And I mean, the thing is, though, Keenan did have a pretty solid game last year, too. Mike Williams actually had a pretty good game, too, last year. The thing about it is, dude, I mean, just to the point, we still got 4 wide receivers that we could work with here. Like Josh Palmer, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Austin Eckler on top of that.
Well, Darius Davis. You could even throw out Everett, who obviously is a good tight end too. Our offense is built to overload them. Yep. And we have the ability to just say, pick your poison at this point. Like, we could choose who we want to go to. There's going to be one of those guys that's going to be open for sure. Like, it's going to be a very, very difficult task for any defense to be able to cover all of these players at the same time. Yeah.
Like, even to say, Austin Eckler got over 100-something catches last year. I think he broke the franchise record. Shouldn't have happened ever. Yeah. But that was really just kind of how the cookie crumbled for us last season. But we know he could go out and get some yards for us if necessary. Make those catches to get a first down. We know that he's going to be able to be available there. You imagine if 3 of our wide receivers going out with a tight end with Austin Eckler in the backfield, the defense is going to get pushed back. Austin Eckler is going to roll out. Linebacker is going to cover him. I think Austin Eckler is going to be able to find a great way to be able to just open that up and get a catch and run the ball down the field. It's like a perfect situation all around for this team. So can you cover Keenan Allen? Sure. You got to deal with 4 other players at that point. Like, right. I mean, it's not easy. Yeah. It is not an easy task.
Team defense is what they'll have to play to beat us.
Yep.
What's your thoughts, Kyle?
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, bottom line is too, look at how many weapons that we got. Look, there's, like I said earlier, what Austin Eckler is saying is that the ceiling is very high for this offense. We have a very high powered offense, and I don't know how they can actually end up stopping all of our weapons that we have out there. We got it's just crazy to me how good our offense can be this year.
Yep. Sky's the limit.
Dude, a great point that he's just talking about, and Andrew kind of brought it up, but then also I think it was None Your Business. I think said that too. Just Darius Davis. I want to just dabble a little bit on him, because the thing about Darius Davis, we saw it in that Rams game and what he could be on a special teams threat for us this year. Dude, what if this guy gets us 7 touchdowns this year, off of punt returns? You realize how balanced this team could be having a special teams with J.K. Scott, who's got one of the what is it? His punts are hang time. His hang time is one of the best in the league.
Right.
And then you got a guy who could basically run the ball back for the touchdown to be and he's actually I think one of the fastest players in the NFL right now.
Yeah, he's super quick.
I mean, dude, lightning bug straight to the house. So let's see if we can see lightning bug this weekend. Take one to the hizzy. Let's go.
Lightning bug. I love it. Okay. So do you think our team can be a top 10 rushing offense this year? I think so. I think it's going to be a very different type of rushing offense. And here's the thing: Joe Lombardi, his scheme was more about gaps, and A gap, B gap, and you had a guy pulling, and there's a lot of things that had to happen. You'll see some of that as well, like GT counter. You'll see some other things, but it's going to be a lot of zone running where everyone just blocks forward and they just pick a gap, right? And they just look to the left or right to the left, and then just run wherever the hole is.
Yeah.
That's how. Joshua Kelly scored his touchdown in the preseason against the Niners. My point is, it's going to be very simplified. Joe Lombardi's offense was very complex, and it required a lot of specific, execution.
Execution, yeah.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It just was not easy to execute.
Well, I just always felt like he wasn't putting players in winning situations. Correct. And I think Kellen Moore is going to put players in winning situations. I've elaborated on that a lot, of what I mean by that, but basically having great blocking schemes to be able to allow a player to actually move. A screen that actually doesn't look like it's almost not a screen, or it's there's one blocker with 3 guys coming at you. You're going to lose in that situation just
100%.
by numbers.
100%.
And so it's just, I think Kellen Moore has a great way of being able to put players in winning situations. So that's something I'm going to observe a lot in this game, because, hey, this is really the first time we're really going to see this offense going.
Yeah. And, they want to play fast and free, right? Which you can't do that if you're okay, where do I need to be? Oh, how do I, am I supposed to run this way? And you get confused on the call, right? If you keep it very simple, it's easy for people to execute.
Yep.
Okay. This is Aether's question.
Second question here. We're going to start charging Aether on these questions.
I know.
My second question is, will our offense commit to the run early, especially if the Fish take our deep shots early? I'll reverse that, and I think that the Dolphins will attack us a lot more first.
They're going to
through the run. They're going to test our run game or run defense. And then I wouldn't be surprised if their first set of plays are a lot of run, pass, because they just want to see if we could actually even stop the run. Now, do we do that? I mean, obviously, yeah. Like, I mean, Andrew chatted about kind of how Kellen Moore works. If they're, stopping our run, throw the ball. If they're stopping our pass, we're going to run the ball. It's all situational. And I think Kellen Moore is one of those guys that likes to adjust in mid-game versus, Lombardi basically kind of was like square peg and round hole. I'm going to keep just trying to see if it fits at some point, and never really tried to find a way to be able to adjust in game. And as a great way of coming out of the gate stumbling, our third quarters were abysmal all the time.
Yeah,
that's why we were terrible. Absolutely had to be the worst team in the league in scoring on third quarters. So I'm looking forward to be able to see kind of where we could just adjust accordingly, which I think, and I'm sorry I keep talking on this, but if you go back to like the last preseason game, Max and Easton Stick, they weren't throwing the ball well. What did they do? Just run the dang ball all of the dang plays. Like they basically just created a lot more run game, and that's a perfect example of what Kellen Moore will do. He'll attack where you're weak, and that's my mantra for ever and ever and ever. I'll attack when at the weaknesses for sure. So,
hey, I mean, that's the freaking
part of my dating life.
That's
I
art of war right there.
It's like what is it? Wedding crashers. You go to
a wedding,
or even a funeral.
A funeral. That's right. They're emotionally damaged. Emotional damage. I step in.
This guy.
I'm the savior.
What a Bolt Bros creepy edition, dude.
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
guy, dude.
Eddie, this is a great point here. Yes, and Mac. Thule, I think they're going to attack that side a lot. Whoever's on that side is going to be exposed. It's going to be big. They're going to try and chip, probably put another tight end over there or whatever.
We're talking about an Iron Maiden, dude. Is that what we're talking about, dude?
Boom. Yeah, Iron Maiden. Eddie, that's a great prediction. He had a horrible game last season. He was 10 out of 28 or something like that.
Bad.
Yeah, he did not look good.
Really bad game. And I mean, it was like the Chargers were very beat down at that point too.
Yep.
It was like I was in that game like, I don't think I'm going to win this. And it was just like, we played a totally different game. I mean, we had a phenomenal defensive game that game. So it was one to watch. It was great.
So Daryl, is our defense truly better? I really think it is. Again, we're healthy now. Like we were so banged up last season, so banged up. We are not banged up at all. And I really feel like we can execute correctly. And these guys they're hungry, man. Yeah. I mean, SJD he's ready. When we interviewed Asante Samuel Jr., we kind of asked the question of like, hey, do you feel like playing in preseason games are more quality football or basically on the practice field? He said, any field time is great. We're all going to be ready regardless. It's all prepping for this game and for the season. So you think that, hey, we're all healthy. We're ready to rip. I think they're all eager and hungry right now. So 100%. Yeah, I think edge rush is going to be great. I think we're going to do great. Yeah. And look, I'll say this too, Willie. Like, look, Khalil Mack, again, Joey Bosa, did he put on 20 pounds?
Yeah. What was his diet? Like 6,000 calories?
6,000 calories a day. Yeah. He's just.
Yeah. He said food is not pleasurable, a fun experience for him anymore.
Yeah.
I can imagine, dude. I couldn't do that. Holy smokes.
Yeah. He's just out there just putting on the weight, right? I mean, that's how you get big. I mean,
The
Rock eats 8 times a day. 8 times a day, 8 meals a day.
How does he have time to do anything else?
Yeah, he gets up. I think he gets up at like midnight one time too. So he gets up midnight, eats again, and then goes back to sleep. No joke. It's crazy.
Midnight snacking.
It's like, okay. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. And so to your point, I do think we're going to be better. Nick Williams, Scott Matlock, Eric Kendricks. Look, we're fine deep downfield. I really think our secondary is fine. We're okay. But I think where we needed to get better was just the defensive line. And at least right now we're healthy. So that's a good thing.
Well, if there's going to be weaknesses on this defense, it's going to be if JC Jackson's on the field, you're going to test him. If I was the Dolphins, I would test him. Obviously, he came after a big injury. Once again, guys, it's a miracle that he's playing week 1, not on the injury report. Like, you got to realize that Jalen Guyton had basically a knee issue and is not playing and is on the IR or the PUP right now.
Yep.
But weaknesses is J.C. Jackson. If you want to see him, test him. And if I was the Dolphins, I'd test him.
They're going to try.
If there's another weakness, if you see J.T. Woods out there, you might want to attack him too, just to test him. Same thing for Alohi Gilman. Like, I mean, Nazir Adderley not being there is one thing. I mean, but I think that not having Alohi is kind of the other weak point. But outside of that, our defense as a whole is extremely strong. Like, I'm excited about seeing this defense all around. And you could even say Kenneth Murray in pass coverage too, because I was really hoping Deion Henley was going to be able to play this game, which he's not going to play. But if he was out there in pass situations, I think I would feel more comfortable having Deion Henley out there versus Kenneth Murray.
Yeah. Scott Matlock, you never know. I wouldn't be surprised.
A little trick play.
Yeah, he scored 1 or 2 touchdowns at
Something
Boise
like that,
State.
yeah.
But look, here's the thing. Trick plays are always something that, really Kellen Moore likes. So we're going to see some really interesting things. I will say this about Kellen Moore too, and I thought about this a couple of days ago. I was actually thinking about doing a video. I'll just throw it out here right now. The cool thing is, let's say hypothetically, which I do think we're going to be a top 5 offense, Kellen Moore gets a job, gets hired as a head coach somewhere else, which I hope that doesn't happen. But the good thing is he's already installed an offense that Justin Herbert can just run next year. It's the same offense. He doesn't have to do anything different. He can switch a couple things up. So whoever steps in, Justin Herbert still is the offense, right? So you don't really have to, go from there. So I think there's a lot to be said about that. So we'll see how that plays out. And by the way, are we thinking about doing a Discord, Kyle? I know a lot of people do.
I dropped a link in the description.
It's right here.
Not in the description, in the chat itself.
There you go.
Anthony and I, we've actually been in here already chatting a little bit. But yeah, like it's live. I mean, it's not like it's basically still a work in progress, but I'm just it's available to people if they wanted to join in on it. I don't really know what we're gonna do with it at all yet, but it would just be a way for people to chat with us like right away, or something like that. Just have a little discussions here and there, So,
by the way, we're going to be at the game, obviously at the stadium, but we also have the Sunday ticket. So if you guys have the Sunday ticket, I might be at the game in the chat on YouTube, chatting away on the Bolt Bros account. So that'll be kind of a fun way to be able to engage other fans too.
Yep, exactly. And it'd be interesting to see. Okay, so I know Anthony talks a little bit about Eckler. I don't know if he's going to hit his incentives this year. I really don't think he will. I think it's going to be really, really hard. There's a lot of. I think the ball is going to be spread around pretty evenly. Yeah. I really have a hard time seeing one. Again, last year was tough because Herbert was hurt. Check the ball down. Lombardi was like, just check the ball down. Check the ball down. And that was the offensive scheme, and it was just stupid. But, whatever.
Yep, we'll see a different offense this year. That's for dang sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then go ahead, James.
And that's just the thing too. Is every year is different. And that was another thing about the video that actually was posted like a little bit about like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock is that all these players, they actually always have this sense of urgency because in a lot of ways, a lot of these players, this is their last year with the team. Some of the coaches, this is their last year with the team. And like all these different things, like, so there always is going to be a sense of urgency. And so these players want it and they want it bad. And just because, they know that they have a special team right now. And so they want to actually, use this team to the maximum effectiveness in order to actually get all the way this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and they could technically run it back too. I mean, Herbert's contract is fairly team friendly. They'd have to restructure contracts again, but whether they do that or not, who knows, right? So we'll see. But again, that's a long ways away. This is interesting. I know H4 talked about this. I would say though, the yards after catch was bad, but that's a big reason why we picked up Q. Q is very good at yards after catch. So it's something that I think he's focused on. And also Darius Davis is pretty good at it as well too. But again, I think Q is very good at separating and he's very good at yards after catch. So those are the two things he does very well.
Big thing. That was his big thing. That's why he was one of the top in college football for yards after catch. Well, you got Dago over here asking a question.
Yeah, I was actually going to pop this one up. Yeah, Dago. Yeah, no, we are in Utah. We're in LA. So we're going to be at an event tonight, Top Golf El Segundo, 5:30 to 8:30. Come check it out. And then we're going to be at the Tailgate Thunder Alley all day tomorrow and at the game. We are in LA.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Weather is way nicer out here than Arizona.
Okay, so we got a fantasy question here, Adam. With Cup out, would you start Higbee over Mike Williams or Ayuk? Think about that.
Higbee over Mike Will or Ayuk? Well, I mean, Mike Williams actually had a pretty big game against the Dolphins last year.
Yeah, he did.
Let me see. I think it was 111 yards, I believe it was. Let me just
I think that was his like kind of a return game too, right?
It was,
like,
yeah, he did really well.
Injury.
Dolphins, Chargers. I want to say it was something like that. Here we go. Pulling up here right now. Mike Williams did play well. He got 6 catches, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, if you base upon recent, I would probably go Mike Will. Higbee to me, like Higbee is, I believe, with the Rams.
Yeah,
Cup is not there. He probably would be the relied on target, but that's a tough one to say. But I mean, I would really kind of go for the guy that's probably going to have a better quarterback situation and overall team, which would probably be the Chargers. So Mike Williams, in my opinion. Don't come at me if it goes bad, though. Don't come at me, though.
Yeah, and JC is going to get tested right off the bat. I really do
100%.
think so. Yeah, they're going to look at him fast, and he's got to play hard. He's got a lot to prove. You know, he got thick pockets now. He made that money, and you know there's pressure on him. Well, there's pressure on everybody, of course. But
right.
Aether, my bold prediction: Kelly gets 124 yards total, 2 touch. Wow.
Jeez.
Okay. And we under 90 yards rushing. That'd be amazing.
I'd love to see that.
If we're even close to 100 yards rushing per game, we would be like the best in the league.
100%.
The best in the league. I think the Niners was at like 106 or 108.
Like yeah.
So if you're even remotely around 100, like, yeah, you're good.
I do really think that the Dolphins are going to test our run, though.
They're going
to that's one thing I'm very, very confident first play will be a run play.
Yep.
100% will be a run play.
Yeah.
Either that or it's going to be a small little screen pass to the flat. Whoop. Just throw it real quick to the line. Quick throw. Teams love doing that.
Yep.
First play of the game just to kind of get rhythm going. But I guarantee, based upon last year's history, you got to test our D line on the run. So,
yep. And then your business, you're right. Yeah, I like taking more risks at the very beginning of the game.
Yep.
And just all gas, no brakes. 34-21 Chargers. Again, throw your score predictions in the chat.
I believe that was my prediction, actually.
Yeah, that's about what I was
thinking. And it's going to be a late to get to 21 touchdown. Yeah. It's like just a
junkyard
fantasy, booster
Yep.
touchdown, basically.
Yeah. No. And I hope JC has a great game.
Man.
I mean,
I'd be so psyched to see that. I mean, that would be massive to see that. Mr. INT, man, he still leads the league in the last 5 years in interceptions with being out a season.
Yeah.
Like, you realize how much of a weapon this guy is. JC Jackson is an absolute weapon. If that guy is healthy and 100% out there and comes back to form, huge for this defense.
It could be freaking massive.
Is a stud. Remember that. Asante, you saw what we did.
And Jasir Taylor.
Derwin James. Like, guys, like, you have JC out there. This is a dominant backfield for this defense. Oh, it's insane to watch.
Yeah.
It'll be insane to watch.
Yeah. I think they're going to try and lock those guys down. And look, you have to think about their offense too, right? Okay. We had the 4th or 5th best passing defense in the league last season. One of the worst in rushing defense. So just run the ball. They got fast, again, but it will boil down to a few things, right? Because remember, their line is a little banged up, especially on the left side. So they'll probably rush it more to the right side, I would assume.
Yeah.
Or they try to. So, that's somewhat predictable.
Yeah.
And H4, this is interesting too. Again, they may pull somebody up off the practice squad. We'll let you know if that happens. If it does happen, we'll do a quick video tomorrow, something like that. It would be someone like Brevin Allen or Andrew Farmer. Yeah. My guess would be Andrew Farmer. He had a sack in preseason.
Yeah.
So, this is actually a great point. I don't know that he does. I'm hoping he doesn't. There's a lot of stress in becoming a head coach. I mean, you look at Brandon Staley. I mean, that guy's under a ton of pressure.
Tons.
And if I was him, I probably would wait a little bit. Why become a head coach? You go like the Texans.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the head coach of the Texans. Come on, dude, they suck. You got. Come on.
Well, with Josh McDaniels, remember him, and he went from the Broncos head coaching, got caught up in that whole cheating scandal, basically got pushed back to New England. I mean, Papa Belichick always brings back his assistants and past coaches. And then he was going to get hired by the Colts. And then all of a sudden he's like, nah, I don't want to coach for the Colts. And then he went to the Raiders in the end. But but either which way, like, it is probably a better situation to be able to go from an offensive coordinator to a good situation. Now, once again, a good position after a team has fired a head coach is a very tough thing to find.
It's always hard. It's always hard.
But, I mean, at the same side is, let's say Kellen Moore is getting paid $1 million a year, and then all of a sudden he gets offered $6 million a year. Well, sometimes you follow the money, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll take $6 million a year. No problem. Let's go.
Yeah, Eddie. All In was amazing, guys. If you have not checked that out, watch it. And then Chris Hayrie and Matt Money Smith, Charged Weekly. I love that. I watch that every time. It's always great. Let's see. 27. Okay. So let's see. We're getting close. Yes. And again, JC Jackson is starting.
Yep.
He literally said, my knee is fine. I'm going up all gas, no brakes.
Yep. And I think that there might be kind of he'll probably get the start, but I think that they're going to kind of just watch his knee and see how he feels throughout the game. They're going to communicate a lot with him. Now, this is a big thing about, our trainers. Our trainers need to be the one that watch JC Jackson the entire game. Because a lot of players, you could be like, I'm injured, but I'm not going to act injured because I want to keep out there and still play. I think if you watched quarterbacks, remember when Patrick Mahomes got injured with his ankle and he's like, nope, I'm not going out. Nope. Like, no player wants to go out, but you hope that there's a clear line of communication with the trainers and everything. But I do expect that there's going to be a little bit of a rotation of Asante and Jasir Taylor in slot and outside cornerback, just to make sure that JC's not going to be out there 100%, but probably situational things. They'll probably kind of rotate those cornerbacks.
This is a good question from Zach. What do you think is more likely? We finish the season fighting for number 1 seed or finish fighting for a wild card? Oh boy, that's a tough one. I think this could sound like a cop out, but are we healthy or are we not healthy?
Yeah.
Like who's hurt? Who's hurt? Right. And again, you can't fix that, right? That's something I can't predict. I think if we're healthy, I think we have a shot of going for the number 1 seed. But if we're banged up like we were last year, which I hope we are not, it'll go to the wild card spot. So,
yeah.
I
mean, I would just say, like, I mean, I think if we're going to have like the best chance for a Super Bowl run, I think we have to try to take the, top 4 seed, if anything, though, like just thinking about like what other playoff teams are going to be out there for the season down the road. It's a hard path to be able to like play against them and play every single week. I would love for us to have a number 1 seed. If we can get that, that'd be great. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, just getting in the division leaders seed is more important than number 1 seed, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah,
agreed. I mean, to have a home game would be awesome.
Yeah.
If you really break it down this way, and I'm elaborating on this question more, AFC East is a very, very tough division. They're going to beat up on each other. Kind of what just happened last year.
Yep.
There's 3 teams, essentially 4 if you want to add the Patriots based upon legacy of the team. But I don't think the Patriots are going to be that good. They're probably going to be the last team in that division. But there's going to be a lot of beating each other up. So their records are potentially going to get, down to like 12-5 as a division leader, 11-6 kind of area. Then you go towards the AFC North. You got the Bengals, the Ravens, the Browns. And who's the other team in that division? Why am I not? Either which way, whatever is in there. The Ravens and the Browns are going to beat up each other a little bit. The Bengals and the Ravens are going to beat up each other a little bit. I mean, realistically, if you probably want the number 1 seed, 13 wins will get you to that point. It's really a point of, can you get to 13 wins? And you potentially could get to the number 1 seed. Now, I'm going to say we're going to probably go for a wild card game unless we beat the Chiefs on week 7. Then I think that we got a chance to be able to be one of the higher seeds and take the division.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm kind of saying both. That sucks. I just said that. But
that's ultimately what I said too.
Terrible answer.
Well, but it's hard, right? Because like it's week 1, right? Week 1 is
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's a complete crapshoot. Brandon Staley said that. It's a complete crapshoot.
Yeah.
And Aether said at the half, Chargers lead 13-0. Third, they explode with 21 points, 51-24.
Let's go.
That's called a donkey punch.
Dude, that's quite the opposite of Lombardi.
Yeah. And again, good point. We haven't won the division in a very long time, right? So, look, we at least need to start, showing the division that we're actually here. Someone also talked about the Raiders being a disaster. Yeah, I think they're going to
dumpster fire.
Yeah. Chandler Jones is freaking out, like
getting locked out of the facility.
Yeah,
and stuff, dude.
So weird.
Hit up his baby mama for like,
like
stuff like that. It's like what's going on here?
Weird things, dude.
Such a weird dump.
What is going on?
It's very possible that his phone could have been hacked as well. So just throw that out there. Yeah.
I mean, just whatever.
I'm gonna say he's blaming it on the Raiders, man. That organization's garbage.
Stupid. Okay. All right. So I know we're getting kind of close here. It looks good, but it's the same as last year. I think by the way, their wide receivers did not look good. They had a lot of drops. We'll see though. Again, that's a really look. It's week one, right? Yeah. Week one it's a bit of a crapshoot. It just really is. So you never really know.
Yep. Absolutely.
Tom, here we go. 34-21. I like that. That's good.
Let's go.
Tua leaves with a bruised ego.
Nah.
I like that. Okay. And Demetrius says Chargers 11-6. Yeah, lame, no doubt. I agree. Okay. So I guess, we're a little over an hour now at this point, guys. I know, again, we'll keep you guys posted, but again, tonight we're going to be at Top Golf, El Segundo. On the YouTube page, I did put it on our communities tab, so take a look at that when you get a second. Again, El Segundo Top Golf, just Google it. We will be there. And then, we're going to be at Thunder Alley all day tomorrow. We got more shorts coming. We're going to try and go live as much as possible also on YouTube and Instagram. And Instagram. Yeah. Mostly Instagram. YouTube would just be shorts, little things we could record and then throw up. But, we'll let you guys know. So we got some more content coming moving forward. But again, if anything happens transaction-wise, we'll do another short video tomorrow. One of us will do it. We'll let you know what the deal is. We'll go from there. So who wants to go first on final thoughts for the game?
I'll do final thoughts. My final thoughts is, man, we are here finally. Week one for once. We are finally here. We are here in LA. I'm stoked just to be able to be out there and see the whole community once again, just all together to be here to celebrate the NFL season once again. And it's exciting that we have a healthy team. And the big thing I'm going to emphasize that we have a balanced team.
Yeah.
Brandon Staley talked a lot about that in the All In episode. And he said, we need to find a balanced championship caliber based team. And I think we truly have that. A lot of these guys feel, and a lot of fans feel like there's something special here. There's something different about this team. And I'm really, really excited to be able to just see this team in action and see how balanced this team can be. And the sky's the limit with this team, guys. It's just about being out there and being consistent and really being healthy as a team and exploit weaknesses you possibly can. I mean, all gas, no brakes. Let's go.
That's right.
I'm ready.
Yep. Now, and this is a great point by Aether. I have one last thing to say. I promise. If the Chiefs are 1-3, Chargers 4-0, they're going to pay Chris Jones
100%.
They're like, all right, fine, we got to pay this guy
100%.
Yeah,
100%. I was thinking they were going to do that after Kelsey went down.
I was shocked that they still haven't paid the guy, but he wants to get like fat money.
It's like 30-something mil or something.
That's
season.
Crazy money.
Yeah.
Crazy
he's
money.
A very good defensive tackle, but man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So, policy for streaming the game, they frown upon it pretty solidly.
Yeah,
so
pretty sure, like they'll definitely shut it down pretty quick. So
we've done that a few times where we showed a couple videos and then they shut the stream down. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's pretty nuts how Nazi-ish they are. But hey, it's content, right? That we don't own, right? It's the NFL. Kyle, you want your last thoughts, and then we can wrap up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, I feel like bottom line, it's great that the football's back and week one's finally here. It seemed like a long off season because like they didn't really make a ton of big splash moves this season, besides picking up Eric Kendricks, and I think he's actually going to be the kind of the X factor for our defense now. And because of his leadership, actually, I think that's what's going to elevate Kenneth Murray to actually have a good year this year. And so what that means for him, I don't know in the future, but like, I think that's going to actually make our rush defense so much better. And we're going to be able to see, even if we just see, like we keep saying, 10% increase. And like we are now a top 15 rush defense. Like that's going to be absolutely paramount for us, because it's going to stop those big rush plays, whatever, at the end of the game. And so we can control the ball longer and faster. And we're going to be able to start fast and finish,
Go.
Let's go.
My dating profile, start fast and finish.
That's right. And so I'm thinking too, though, I mean, my prediction for the game is actually that I think that Chargers are going to get 33 points and the Dolphins going to get 24. So, and their 24 is going to actually be, it's going to be a late trying to get that. They're going to be about like 14 points most of the game, but they're going to be trying to at the very end. So I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for the tailgate tomorrow. Holy smokes, the tailgate's going to be awesome. It's going to be lit, fam. Hey, and guess what, too? It's like tonight we're going to go to the meet and greet hosted by J-Rock and Swoopin' D. Swoop.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it'll
saying?
be fun, guys. If you're El Segundo, come down. Come down and say what's up, guys. We're going to have a great time. Zach, good thought here. Who sends Tua to the tent, Mac or Bosa? Bro, I'll tell you, like I'll tell you right now, man, like it could be both of them. Iron Maiden.
Ooh.
Again,
Tua sandwich.
A Tua sandwich.
Like tuna
No, it's a tuna sandwich. We'll call him a tuna sandwich out.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Oh, that would be a funny shirt idea.
That's a good one.
A Tua sandwich, dude, and like Mac and Bosa like smashing them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
that.
that'd be great, dude. Oh my gosh, I love that idea. And special teams is gonna be great. Look, guys, I think bottom line, we've said it all. I mean, look, I'm excited. We're gonna be at the event tonight. Please come to the event. If not, we'll see you guys at Thunder Rally tomorrow. It's gonna be a great time. We got our tickets. We're ready to go. It's gonna be awesome, guys. Football's back. If any transactions happen, we will do a short video tomorrow, just sort of discussing it. We have some more shorts coming out. We're gonna take some videos of Thunder Rally. Check us out again on Instagram. Please check us out on Instagram. That's where a lot of community things are going to go, right? So I know Kyle, we're probably going to do some. We're not fun with it, guys. So check us out on Instagram. We'll have a good time. So
looking forward to it, guys.
Yep. All right, guys. We are the Bolt Bros. We love it. We love it. We're here to party. We're gonna have a good time. See you guys tonight and tomorrow.
Bolt Bros.
Bolt Bros.
Let's go.
Let's go.